She shot a man's dick off. Broad daylight. And you know what? Nobody did anything to her. Hey, what's going on, folks? And this is Just My Opinion with Ryan. Want to thank you all again for hitting up the channel. If this is your first time here, hit that like and subscribe button. I would truly appreciate it. And as I always say, my goal is to simply talk to the camera. You guys talk back in the comments. Let me know what you think about the videos. Give me some recommendations of movies and shows to watch. Hey, and let's just get into it. If you've been living under a rock and in terms of shows, Ozark just came back. And I spent all weekend just binge watching it. It's that great of a show. So being that I watched it way too fast and I have to wait until part 2 comes out, which I hate, by the way. Simply want to try something different. Want to give like a very short review, but I really want to focus on the women of Ozark. I really think that the women of Ozark actually make the show. I mean, yes, you got the mastermind, all-star money launderer in Marty Byrde. You got the very scary Mexican cartel leader in Omar Navarro. I really feel like the women of Ozark make this show go. And it's been evident from season 1 until their final season, season 4. Long story short, the Byrdes still want to get out of this whole dangerous cartel money laundering life. But of course they want to get out, with all their limbs, with their lives and stuff like that. So Marty and Wendy are still trying their best to, ever so delicately maneuver to, take care of Omar's orders while trying to work with the FBI and see how they can work on getting out of this life. Because damn it, it's getting scary. Things are getting so final. You can see why it's a final season. If you thought season 1 through 3, the stakes was high, and then nah. Season 4, this is all for the money. This is playing for keeps right here. Season 4 was playing for keeps, hands down. But so that's what I took from it, and based off of season 3, the Byrdes have grown, have quite a relationship with Agent Maya Miller. So they're still trying to work with her personally and see what type of deal they can do. And what's funny is, throughout season 4, she's still trying to recruit Marty. Like, hey, you would really be good working for the FBI, man. You might as well take this deal. We keep your family safe, yada, yada. And at the same time, it's like Marty he just wants to get out. He just wants to get out. And that's pretty much the gist of it. And the thing I like about it, the character growth from season 1 to season 4 for all of these characters has just been amazing. For example, obviously, if anyone was in that situation, season 1, Marty Byrde has, even though he figures stuff out, for the most part, he kind of gets rattled with some of this wild stuff because he's not used to it. Season 4, whatever wrenches has been thrown his way in season 4, he just seems like, how can I put it? He just seems like, look, man, I'm just done with it all. I am ready to just get out as fast as I can. All types of obstacles that have been thrown in season 4. Marty Byrde's mentality is kind of like that burnt out customer service supervisor at Walmart. He's like, okay, the package ain't get here in time. We're short some money. We're short some drugs. Give me some time. Let me work my magic and just see what I can do. So that's really how his whole mentality is in the entire season 4. Like, it's almost like nothing surprises him anymore. He's just trying to get his family out and safe and just be done with this whole thing and just try to just live, man. Just almost as if this whole thing never happened. Wendy's still on her thing where Wendy and Marty aren't on the same page the whole time, but nevertheless, it's been a great ride. I highly recommend anyone to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Have I forgotten anything? Oh yes, and there have actually been a couple of new characters in season 4 that has been like just a few more roadblocks that's trying to prevent Marty and the Byrdes from leaving this whole life. So those obstacles get a little dicey. For example, I didn't think it was going to happen, but you know, when Helen died in season 3, you know, the lawyer, that actually got the ball rolling for a few other things. So now there's some, I wouldn't call them consequences, but now there are like some reactions based off of Helen's death that's coming to fruition. Like, people are starting to ask around about Helen now. There are a couple more people in this whole mafia cartel, excuse me, this whole cartel family thing that's getting a little real. So there's a couple things that are trying to prevent the Birds from leaving the game. I want to highlight the women of Ozark. I think all of them have done a spectacular job. I'll just get it started. I want to just highlight Agent Maya Miller. For those who are familiar, I love her role in the show. If anything, she's more so of an ally for the Birds in season 4, as opposed to someone trying to just arrest the Birds or Marty. So if you're familiar with season 3, Maya Miller came on the scene as an FBI agent who has a lot of skills in forensic accounting. And because of that, she is watching Marty Bird like a hawk when it came to season 3. And of course, you know, being the mastermind money launderer guy that Marty is, he was able to get his stuff off, you know, without, you know, alarming Maya Miller too much. And throughout season 3, they actually formed this kind of relationship, like I scratch your back, you scratch mine, stuff like that. And because of this type of work relationship they have going on, that's how they're more so allies in season 4. And she even still wants to, you know, cut a deal with Marty. Like, hey, you can still work for the FBI, work for my team. We can really get a lot of people. So shout out to her. And also, she, you know, from season 3, she's very good at her job as an FBI agent, very relentless. Clearly, if you saw season 3, pregnancy wasn't going to stop her from getting the job done. So strong woman right there. Shout out to Agent Maya Miller. Next, we have Charlotte. In my opinion, Charlotte is actually the most normal, quote unquote, bird of the family. She, you know, is holding it down for the parents, not trying to let everybody know about their whole laundering schemes and stuff like that. She actually watches over the casino whenever she's available. You know, if she's not in school, she's doing work at the casino. You know, like not just like some small time stuff, like managerial, supervisory type of stuff. Almost like supervisors for the bouncers and stuff like that, making sure that certain people aren't allowed back into casinos. Especially since Ruth had a falling out with the Birds. So that's been going on. I find her to be a dope character. As I mentioned, she's probably the least dangerous of the women on the show. She's just trying to hold it down for the family. One word that you could describe Charlotte is loyal. Loyal to family. She's trying to hold it down. She's keeping secrets. Any type of rift that's going on between the family, she seems to be the voice of reason in season 4. So I love that about her. And that's the best way to put it. She's the voice of reason in a lot of situations in season 4. Next, I have on the list, I gotta go with Ruth. These last 3 choices are who I find to be the most dangerous. And this is in the order that I find them dangerous. My top 3 dangerous women of Ozark, starting from this point on. I'm going with Ruth for number 3. I find her to be very dangerous, but of course not as dangerous as the other women. I think one thing that's so dangerous about her, that when people first look at her, you stereotype her as uneducated, trailer trash type of stuff like that, but that's far from Ruth. If you've been a fan of this show, very smart and just intelligent. She picks up things quickly. She actually, even though she has a falling out with Marty Bird, she actually picked up quite a few things from Marty and is putting that to good use with her dealings with Darlene. And that's another thing. Apparently you can't have 2 fiery personalities under one organization, apparently. Even though they work together, I'm sure you guys, if you've seen season 4, you could predict that they're going to be bumping some heads just because of their personalities alone. So Ruth is very dangerous. If you remember from season 1, you know, sometimes the whole blood thicker the water is just that. It's just a saying. She went as far as to set up her uncles and get them killed by electrocuting them, setting up some traps or whatnot. So Ruth is very dangerous because you can actually underestimate her just from her physical appearance. I know she's a grown woman in real life and on the show, but if you look at her, she looks like she belongs in elementary school, just from her height, her build, all that type of stuff. But as I mentioned, she learned a lot of things from Marty Byrde, and I think that's making her even more dangerous. The stuff that she picked up from her time at the casino and at the Lickety Splits, the strip club, she's putting that to good use and adding that to her arsenal of someone that you really can't underestimate. And I think that's what makes her the most dangerous. The moment you underestimate her, that's the moment things go bad for you. I mean, really bad. Number 2 on this list, you know I gotta go with Wendy. I gotta go with Wendy, man. I think what makes her dangerous, she comes off, you know, from physical appearance yet again, she could come off like the lovable housewife, the caring mother, which I'm sure she is, at least the caring mother part. But when it comes to dealing with other people, I swear her and Marty, they both have that gift of gab, that Vanishing, just the way with their words, where they can actually make anything sound convincing. I mean, like the Jay-Z quote, like Wendy's one of those people who could sell water to a well, all that type of stuff. Sell snow to a polar bear. I mean, she is very conniving. She's ruthless with it, very misleading. And before you know it, you messed around and you gave up your casino, which is what happened in previous seasons. She hustled people out of casinos. Reminds me of the whole Franklin Saint episode when he hustled the old folks out of their libraries. So Wendy is on that level. She could befriend you, make everything sound good with some partnerships, this and the third. Before you know it, you lost out on some good business. And I mean, granted, who knows under any normal situation if that's how she would act like that. But under these circumstances that you're under pressure from the Mexican cartel and you got all these other things going on, you could kind of see possibly where that inspiration comes from to put that type of charm on and to screw anyone out of whatever, if it means getting out the game or possibly saving you and your family's life. So I get it. But at the same time, it's foul. It's foul. She can be very conniving. And what makes it even more dangerous than that, like, you know, the whole saying, if you're married, you know, you want to put on this whole united front. Don't tell that to Wendy, all right? Wendy at times has had not no communication, but Wendy at times has just went against any type of game plan that her and Marty claimed they said they was going to do, and she just goes somewhere else with it sometimes, to the point that has made stuff go from bad to worse and things of that nature. So that's another thing that's dangerous about it. She can agree to do one thing in your face if y'all both think this is the best thing to do for the family, if it's possible, life and death, whatever the case is. But if she's feeling something that may not be right, she's gonna go do her own thing despite what y'all talking about. So not even her husband could be like, hey, we said we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, let's do X, Y, and Z. You mess around with Wendy, she'd be like, I know we said we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, but I wanna do X, Y, and Z plus A over here. So that's one thing that's scary about Wendy. And also, granted, the circumstances was very dangerous. You can't shake the fact that she got her brother killed. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. You know, had to make an agreement to get her brother killed, and yeah. Wendy's something else. Which brings me to number 1, and there's not even a need for a drum roll. You guys already know who the craziest, most dangerous woman is when it comes to Ozark. Shoot, it has to be Darlene. I mean, she shot a man's dick off, broad daylight, and you know what? Nobody did anything to her. I mean, of course, she got the cops in her. She had that sheriff in her back pocket. Sheriff turned a blind eye to any type of wild shit. And not only did she just shoot a man's dick off, she shot the dick off of Frank Jr. Frank Jr. is the son of a mob boss. All right. So you shot the dick off the son of a mob boss, And because you got all this power and stuff in this city, my boss even agrees to like, you know what? I'm gonna forgive that you shot my son's dick off. Let's get back to this business or whatever type of agreement and dealings they came up with. But you shot a man's dick off and ain't nobody say shit or do shit about it. How much power and danger, craziness can you be when you could do that to the son of a mob boss? Nothing happens to you. I'm sorry. If my piece gets shot off and my father is a mob boss, my father's gonna have to ride for me. I don't know what type of deal y'all had, but hey, make that deal and then double cross it, because you gotta ride for me. She shot my piece off. I can't even, you know, move forward with our bloodline or whatever. I can't have, you know, possibly can't have kids anymore. Like, I'm not sure if they did any type of surgeries to fix the situation in season 4, but she shot my dick off. I'm gonna need my father to ride for me, or I'm gonna need my father to get some goons who's gonna ride for me, because you just can't do that and have nothing happen to you. And I swear, like, there must be something in the actress's contract that says Darlene is allowed to catch a body or two every season, because every season she's catching bodies, fam. She's catching bodies, and what's the most scary thing about it, as I mentioned, nobody does shit about it. Nobody retaliates against Darlene. Darlene is just like that crazy pit bull you stay away from, because she's, you know, liable to bite anybody no matter who's near. You be your damn grandmama. She don't give a damn. And but also, with that being said, I mean, nothing dangerous about this one, but she also, hey, she's living her best life. You know, she's running this heroin company, got rid of her, not company, her heroin drug business, got rid of her husband, and she got, you know, she's playing the sugar mama role. She got a little young thing up in there to go ahead and give her some loving, you know, when her and Wyatt get in the mood. So Darlene is definitely the craziest, and she's just so, she could just catch a body off of you saying the wrong thing. You know, I know you know, you have the whole thing when people say, "Oh man, you step on my sneakers, I catch a body off of that." Now, you say the wrong thing to Darlene, you're liable to get a shotgun to the chest. Very unstable woman, most dangerous on the show by far. And I mean, of course, you know, at least most dangerous woman on the show. I mean, yes, you still got Omar Navarro, who's a powerful Mexican drug cartel boss. But as far as women, Darlene, hands down, most dangerous woman on the show. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys listening. I just wanted to try something new real quick and just highlight some of the things I thought was dope about the show. And once again, huge appreciation for the women of Ozark for knocking this out the park with all 4 seasons, especially being that this is their final season. I thought all the women in the show were fantastic, but those top 5 I mentioned really stood out to me. Nevertheless, this is Ryan. Thank you for watching another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. Peace.